Welcome to the Pint-Sized Personalization Podcast, brought to you by Johnson Plastics Plus. In this podcast, we talk to the movers and shakers, the influencers and makers who bring personalization to life. We find out what makes them tick and how they became successful in what they do. Today, Kylie Lucas is talking with Angie Holden from the Country Chic Cottage. Kylie, take it away.
All right, hi everyone. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Kylie Lucas, and today we are talking all things personalization. We have a special guest here today, Angie Holden from the Country Chic Cottage. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Angie, if you just want to start by sharing a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to start your own business.
Yep. So Angie Holden, and I currently do all things craft technology. So cutting machines, lasers, printers. If it plugs in and you can craft with it, I probably have something in my craft room and teach people how to use it on both my YouTube channel and website. And I actually started this whole thing in like 2010, and it was seriously a New Year's resolution. I wanted to like spruce up my home, but like if there was a recession, I didn't have any money, and I wanted to do it on a budget, and I wanted to keep myself accountable, like to keep going with the New Year's resolution. So I just started a website to post about it, and eventually realized that people were reading it, and perhaps I could turn this into something. So I continued on part time until about 2016. And in 2016, I quit my full time job. I was my degrees in engineering. I was working as a project manager, quit my full-time job in 2016 and just started doing this full-time.
Wow, okay. Very, very cool. Um, so you recently started using the Ador diode printer. Can you tell us your opinion about diode lasers and where you see that technology heading in the future?
So I do think diode lasers are like the next thing for home crafters. I feel like they're getting to where home crafters can use them. At first, they were scary. They were scary for me at first. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's getting more and more approachable for the home crafter. And the FLUX Ador, I feel like it's a perfect example. So it's like the touch screen on the front, first of all, is super unique, and it makes it so easy to use and set up. Like the
Right.
videos walk you through it right on the screen. And I was like, this is perfect for a home crafter that's never touched a laser and doesn't even know where to begin. It literally walks you through the steps. So I feel like
Yeah.
innovations like that are making it more approachable for everyone to have one in their home.
Okay. Yeah, very, very cool. So with that, how do you stay informed with the latest technologies for your business, such as the Flux Ador?
I just try to pay attention on social media to what like
Right.
places are putting out. Like, what are they
Mm.
releasing? Sorry. So like the Flux Ador, for example, I was very intrigued by the printing functionality. So combining the printer with the laser and
Yeah.
how that might change the laser world. So just kind of paying attention on social, following some accounts, and then paying attention to like Johnson's Plastics Plus. Like, what are the new things that you start carrying,
Yeah.
and are those going to start trending? So I know recently you started carrying like the tumblers that have the holographic behind
Yes.
them, and you engrave and you can see the holographic through it.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my next things. Like, I feel like those are going to be super popular. And it
Yeah.
was just that I saw, you started carrying them, and then it was like, let me take a look at those. So I kind of start researching it a little bit and just sort of decide internally, like, oh yeah, I love those, so other people will as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's with everyone. Social media is such a great way to stay up with the trends as far as sublimation, engraving blanks, technology, everything. So, personally and in the personalization world, I think everyone can agree with that. Um, what is one of your favorite projects to date? It could be on a laser, it could be sublimation, anything.
This is a tough one for me. So like I feel like your projects get to be kind of like your little babies, and it's like
Yeah.
picking between your kids here. But gosh, if I had to pick, oh, this is gonna be really tough. So I'm like looking around my craft space, and there is a
Uh-huh.
tumbler I made. It's a 40-ounce tumbler. The blank came from Johnson's Plastics. It's black and has gold underneath it. And
Okay.
I engraved. I love books, plants, other things like that in my
Mhm.
spare time, and I engraved like various plants around it. And the gold coming to the black, it really is becoming one of my favorite tumblers of all times. Now, I still have to play with a lot of the holographics and
Uh-huh.
see if that's going to be the absolute top number one, but so far so good. And it was kind of in the background of a picture on social, and several people were like, "What about that tumbler? What about that tumbler?" So I feel like it's also going to be a favorite with everyone.
Good. Okay. Okay. Very cool. Um, with that, what is your biggest achievement since starting your business? It could be a project that you created or just a prod or a business milestone, anything like that.
I would say so one of the things I'm passionate about
Hmm.
is helping other small businesses succeed. So I have always been passionate about that and tried to like keep room in my schedule to promote small businesses and continue to promote them. And
Hmm.
earlier this year, we actually started a podcast for small business owners. It's called Crafting for Profit Live. And I feel like that is a step in the right direction for me because it helps fulfill that goal of helping small businesses
Right.
and encouraging people to keep going, because I feel like it can be so hard in the beginning and everyone's success story is different. But I wanted to share my success story in a unique way and also use it to inspire other people to keep going, build their businesses, put that, make that passion turn into a profit. For
Yeah.
me, that's been one of the big milestones of my business is being able to create that podcast and help other people.
Absolutely. No, that's really great. We all gotta kind of help each other in this industry. It's small but fun, and we all gotta help each other. So,
Yeah, I feel
how
like
did?
you think it's big from the outside, but once you get in it, it's very small. There's just a
Oh yeah.
handful of people really that are into like the crafting technology and everything. So yeah, I would from the outside it looks big, but it really is very small.
Absolutely. And it's to the point now, even in this industry, where I can go out and like, "Oh, did you sublimate this?" Or, and then I can start a small conversation with them at, a local craft show that I go to or a festival, and that just kind of starts up conversation, but it's a really fun, unique industry, and it's always fun to talk about because there's a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
like
like-mind creative individuals. So,
yeah, it's like where did you get that blank or where did you
yeah.
get that design? I really have to have it for this other thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So how did you hear about Johnson Plastics Plus?
So it was actually my audience.
Oh,
So I had been, using sublimation for quite a while. It was
uh-huh.
probably before I really got into laser crafting. So I had been using sublimation printers, and always on the search for good blank suppliers. And
Hmm.
of course, when I feel like when sublimation first started ramping up, there wasn't a ton of blank suppliers out there. And I was just really looking for high quality blanks
Right.
and places that people could reach out to that were accessible. And
Mhm.
it was my audience, and they were like, you should totally check out Johnson's Plastic Plus. And I was like, what is that? So I literally just googled it and was
Yeah,
like, yes, I can definitely recommend this. So yeah, it was my audience just recommending places for me to look for blanks.
awesome, awesome. I know you mentioned the like electroplated and gold tumblers. Are those your favorite products, or do you have another favorite product of ours that you like to use?
So it is going to be, you have these sublimation planters. And I
Yes.
searched literally for over a year for a sublimation planter
Okay.
that first of all, there's not many in existence. And then I wanted one that I really liked, that I liked the aesthetic style of. And finally, you have the perfect sublimation planter. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I did like a whole video on them and I've been recommending them to everyone. Yeah. So I like I said, I really like plants. That's one of my hobbies. And being able to customize my own planters, and they're so cute, and they have like a bamboo bottom, like drip
Yeah.
tray. They're so cute.
Yes, yes. They're like the perfect size too to put on a shelf. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love them. Very, very cute.
They're literally behind me on this shelf.
I was wondering if they were, but I was like, I don't know if those are ours or not.
Oh, they're literally behind me on this shelf with plants on them.
You have several. Nice. Nice. Um, Okay, so I know you said that you like to help other small businesses succeed and that sort of thing. Do you have any tips for them if they, maybe are just getting started out, or if they are maybe scared to take that first jump into the personalization world, or even just starting their small business? Do you have any tips for them?
My, I guess my biggest tip is to keep going. It can be very discouraging, especially in the beginning, I feel like, and you just feel like you name's not out there, no one's seeing your stuff, and just keep going and absorb all the information you can. And it can be free information for now. Like, you don't have to spend a ton of money. So absorb as much information as you can. And I also encourage people, because it can be so frustrating and overwhelming, is just to concentrate on like one platform at a time. We tend to, as small business owners, like take it all on all at
Yeah.
once, right? So we create a Facebook, an Instagram, a TikTok, and we're going to post all of them every single day, and that's very, very overwhelming. So I tend to
Mhm.
encourage people, just like, get down to the basics, pick one platform, pick the platform you think your ideal customer is on, and just concentrate on that for now. Concentrate on it, get really good, get your stuff seen, and then you can move on to other things later. But I feel like that sort of helps people get over that overwhelm at first, because it can be
Yeah,
extremely overwhelming. Like, you wear all the hats in this small business. And
right.
so just concentrate on one hat at a time to try to make it a little less overwhelming. And hopefully you can push through those first. I feel like the first at least year or more are very, very difficult. I didn't make a profit for 3 or 4 years, actually. So I probably did it
Okay.
wrong, but but it can be very frustrating in the beginning, I feel like.
Okay. Um, so with that, do you have any strategies that you used specifically to build your initial customer base, whether that was on social media or whichever?
My biggest tip would be to do something you're passionate about. First of
Mm.
all, I feel
Yeah,
like if you do something you're passionate about, your passion shines through on a platform like a social media platform, and
sure.
people are attracted to that passion. I feel like
Hmm.
that was a big one for me, is it was sort of finding that passion. I feel like at first we tend to just throw things at the wall and we're like doing all the things. But once I found a passion and sort of niched down to that passionate thing I was passionate about, which for me was craft technology, but
Right.
sort of got down to that thing I was passionate about and concentrated on it, I feel like my passion came through on everything I was doing. And I do feel like that attracted more people than just being all over the place. I used to just do all the things. I had like a wedding Etsy shop and printables and SVG files and just all these things.
Uh-huh.
But once I niched down, I really started attracting people. And once you attract the audience, then of course they're going to want to buy from you, because you have that passion for whatever you're doing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, very, very good advice. Um, is there anything else you would like to add, that maybe you'd like small business owners to know, or anything?
Gosh. I will end with this. One thing
Okay.
I am very passionate about for small business owners. I mentioned like not getting overwhelmed and concentrating on one thing at a time, but the thing I'm
Right.
most passionate about is starting your email list early. Another thing I did wrong, but start an email list. It doesn't matter if there are 3 people on your email list. Those 3 people are your biggest fans. So start your
Right.
email list early, start building that email list. No algorithm is going to take that away from you. No, changes where Facebook just shuts down. That's It's not going to take that away from you. You own your list. You can email
Right.
them. So start building that list of your super loyal fans, so that you can always have that, turn back to those people, and hopefully they become repeat customers. And repeat business is the best business. That's what I always say.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Well, we are super grateful that you were able to hop on here today, Angie. Um, and tell us where we can find you on socials and where your projects are.
Sure. So on all social, I'm Angie Holden Makes, and you can find me on YouTube at Angie Holden, and my website is thecountryschiccottage.net. And then you can find us every other week on your favorite podcasting platform at Crafting for Profit Live.
All right. Thank you, Angie. We had such a fun time talking to you today, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Pint Size Personalization Podcast with your host, Kylie Lucas, brought to you by Johnson Plastics Plus. Please remember to like and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And for more information on the thousands of customizable products we have available, visit jpplus.com.